Back is back. Yeah, guys, I'll be live with you just for a little bit. Uh, no real topic. I just want to get on here and say hi. It's, I might end up calling it something later, like just feeling helpless. 'Cause the world is based off of having to rely on someone else to help you. It's you like to feel like you're in control, right? But in reality, it's just like 95, if not more, percent of life is you know relying on others. So it's like, what do you do with that, right? You gotta you gotta find ways to cope. It just because everything is just basically about you know deception and coping and just dealing with it's just everybody's so fake, right? You can just sense it, you can feel it, you can see it every day. Sometimes it literally feels like there's really nothing that you can do. And why are we living like this? Why does life got to be this way? It could be easier. It could be better. Well, not easier is the best word for it. It could be better. But the prices stay the prices go up and the wages stay the same and our workload is just a lot of people are just it's hard. So all these people are having to get more than one job and it can really be a pain in the neck. And it's like the only thing you can do is just wait on things to work out. And if they ever do work out, sometimes sometimes you can just wait forever, and it just seems like nothing is ever going to happen. So it's like how do you deal with something that's out of your hands? Because everybody's life has an impact on someone else's life. Absolutely says hi. M1D1G1 Luna. That's a funny name. I like that. Says, what is it? Just a black screen? Well, because that's how I like to do it. Is this recorded? Says, oh, absolute gets. No, this is live. Ooh, 9 people. Come on in, everyone. I'll be on for a little while. I've been meaning to do this live ever since like Monday or whatever. But yeah, it's just sometimes you feel like it's just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it just is the same thing. It's Sunday, and then before you know it, it's Monday again. Some people even go to work on the weekend, and it's just like you could really, really work hard and still can't really, provide for yourself. And my new and Luna says it's mid, midnight Luna. Okay, I only placed the I with the one. All right. Lila Gorilla tag player says hi. Hello. But am I right, guys? And it just does it gotta be that way? It's all these people that have all this money that we create, we give value to. Let's never forget that. Uh, if you don't like the black screen here, I can do this. With my screen here. See, I got it looking like meteoroids or asteroids or whatever. It's really just rain on the screen. Anyway, what was I saying? I hate it when I lose my train of thought. All the millionaires and everybody, they're the ones that should help, you know. But there's this thing where you just gotta, it's like, oh, you gotta earn everything, and that's fine. Once you've letting the stress get to you, it can really affect you. And then people are always gonna look at that, and they'll be like, yeah, you did this, or why did this happen? Why you want to work here? And it's like, well, I just this is these are questions they're not stupid. It's just, why do you, like, I need money. I need a job. And you have a job. Sometimes you just, not happy with it. But if you're lucky enough to have a job, then that you actually like, then do everything you can to keep a hold of it. And at the same time, like I was saying, that might cause stress, and it just that goes on your record, and it just people always look at that and they're gonna be like, oh, we don't want to take this guy or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes you really just feel so helpless that you're forced to do things most of the time just to survive, and we're all going to die anyway. I mean, there's nothing wrong with working. I mean, I've said it time and time again that one person doesn't have to do the whole load. It could be two or three people doing the same thing, like a couple days for this guy, a couple days for this guy, instead of just, that people, society has this thing that you really gotta be dedicated, and you just gotta do the whole shift. And I mean, that's why it's important to get something that you like. But most of the time, it's just about getting that paper. And all these millionaires and billionaires, they could help, sure, but yeah, he's just like, oh, you gotta earn it. You gotta be worthy of taking care of yourself. And it doesn't have to be that way, and it shouldn't be that way. People should have their fair share, and it does. I heard it earlier today that there's abundance. There's just abundance all over the place in this world for everybody. And what do you guys like better, the black screen or this? I can't lie down. I'm doing a lot of this lying down. I don't know. I have a black screen because I just don't like showing my face. It's not that I'm shy. You gotta be so careful in the world, especially with just identity people and freaks or whatever. You gotta be careful in today's world with everything. Just like I'm saying, you have all that stress, and it can cause things to go on your record, and having to pay for apartments and places to live, being a tenant somewhere out of your parents' house. It's so expensive, and it's just, there's your parents, if they're even still alive. They bring you here, and they can get like, oh, why aren't you have work, or why aren't you living here? And it's like, well, it's just everything is dependent on something else. Somebody has to basically not necessarily suffer, but somebody has to do the load of some, just it's a heavy load. It's a heavy burden to bear, and you get stressed out really easily. Anyway, I see we got nobody watching, so that's fine. You guys can watch it later. But yeah, I just, like a black screen. I like to have my finger over the phone, and one day I might use StreamYard or whatever, I don't know. But, that's another thing. You get all this stuff, all these thoughts built up in your head of the things that you've done over the years, and stays with you. It doesn't go away. Because everything's about that paper, and it's about getting that money paper by any means necessary. And if you don't have it, then this society pretty much deems you as worthless. And it's just that nobody's going to do anything for you unless you have it. And you got to be on good terms, obey the rules and the laws. I mean, life is but a game, right? Life is but a game with the rules. You got to follow the rules. It's always about just doing anything you can to get that piece of paper so that you can survive. We're all going to die one day anyway, so just, why can't we have a system where it's more about the person than it is about just, well, basically just slaving for a piece of paper, because that's what it usually comes down to. You got to be really creative, and you got to be really talented, write a book, put on a show, I mean, whatever, in order to really, get famous and make something that's gonna, feed you and put a roof over your head. And most people are just living from, paycheck to paycheck. And yeah. I always say I'm just talking about life in general. Is a lot of the time I don't really have a topic on my lives. I just call it Black So and So Number Live. But sometimes it feels like you're just living to, just you always. It's just highs and lows. But it's just one moment you feel great, the next moment you got all these thoughts come in your head, which supposedly aren't necessarily yours. Can you picking up off of experiences that you've had or whatever? It's just highs and lows. It's like a roller coaster. You and you down. And you just gotta just keep. So anyway, guys, I'm not really seeing anybody here, so I'm gonna end soon if nobody shows up. Yeah, I'm gonna lie down again. It's I'm just tired of feeling like well, it's just everything really is. You really are dependent. And I thought it did it again. And I thought it did it again. I'm uh I'm kind of tired, and there's not really that many people here. So why don't we just end it there, and I'll see you guys next time. And thanks for hanging out with me, whoever was here, and we'll see what we can do for next one. Let's just end it here. We're done for now. See you guys later.